Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the holiday season while it lasted, because there is absolutely nothing merry, joyous, or anything positive about these next 8 to 10 minutes. I hope Santa brought you everything that you were wishing for, because these artists we're about to discuss sure didn't. These are the artists that wrapped Cole in the shape of a new hockey stick. You came running down the stairs, like, oh my gosh! I got a hockey stick! Then you open it up and it was actually just a new Jason Aldean album. That's right, we're past Christmas, we're officially in the final week of 2022, which means it is time for the avalanche of list videos I have been hinting at for a minute now. These next few days are gonna go crazy, but first we gotta talk about the artists that did not go crazy this year, or did go crazy, depending how you look at it. That's right, today we are looking back on the worst country music of 2022. I feel like everyone's worst list looks pretty similar this year, which is honestly a good thing. It means there wasn't a whole lot to choose from. We all sort of just agreed on what sucked. Now, the first thing I think we can all agree is utter buns. Is Jason Aldean's Georgia. Of all the autopilot Jason Aldean projects we've gotten over the last 5 years or so, this is by far the worst. Because normally with a post-2016 Jason Aldean album, you're just gonna get 15 to 20 pissed off country rock songs about alcohol and women, but this time around he somehow managed to pack more trash into less music. At least he condensed it for our sanity. I mean, normally there's a few great or at least good songs hidden in a Jason Aldean album, but that's just not the case with Georgia. These songs just feel like lazy trap country rock demos beating the same drum about drinking alcohol to get over women despite being married and 45 years of age. This guy's really pushing 50, still using trap beats in his country music. That is very concerning. Ain't Enough Cowboy sounds like every middle-class high school SoundCloud rapper trying to be the next Lil Nas X while Old Town Road was popping off. Cowboy and me, just slip up out of these sheets. The whole concept of this Macon, Georgia double album thing was supposed to be a tribute to his hometown, but what about anything on these two albums is related to his hometown? Nothing. Honestly, if I lived in Georgia, I'd be embarrassed by this album. Where did the state of Georgia go so wrong to such an extent that it bred the album Georgia? Honestly, if you live in Georgia, you should be slightly ashamed. Like, you're in a way responsible for this. Yeah, I'm gonna pin the blame on you. We may as well diss everything related to Jason Aldean at once, so what the heck was Rolex on a Redneck with Brantley Gilbert? It can put a Rolex on a redneck. Not that this lethal duo could have come up with anything better, but why come up with anything at all if it was going to be this bad? Surely there were plenty of chances to jump ship. There should have been a moment in the studio where Jason and Brantley looked at each other and just agreed, like, you know, man, this ain't working. We don't got it here. We don't got it. Honestly, we should just stop. But they didn't. They went through with it anyway. I never know how to feel about Brantley Gilbert. I know some of y'all say that he's got some great album cuts from back in the day, and I've heard some of them, but on the whole, I just don't see how Brantley Gilbert is an appealing character in 2022. He makes music for old school UFC fans that only exist to complain about the current state of the UFC. The ones that are still going to show up to a fight night with tap-out merch and chain links that look like they could be a cruise ship anchor. That's who this guy's making music for. I'm just astounded there's still an audience. I'm not on here to diss the entirety of Thomas Rhett's Where We Started, because I think there's a handful of fantastic songs here. I think there's some good songs here, some alright songs. On the whole, it's just a very disorganized, scattered album trying to reach out into too many different directions. However, don't think that clutter could camouflage Bass Pro Hat from making this list. My baby got a Bass Pro Hat term. Despite not being anything worthwhile lyrically, it's really the sound of this song that landed it on this list. Thomas is obviously no stranger to pop country. If anything, I found myself defending his pop output more than attacking it, but there is no reason anyone should be defending Bass Pro Hat. The mix is disgusting, nothing sits on top or underneath of anything, it all just gets shot out the same barrel. The drop in the chorus is so plasticky and overdone, it sounds like there's something wrong with my speakers. I'm literally checking around the back like, hey yo, is everything plugged in right? Like, do I gotta move some stuff around here? Like, is it really supposed to sound like that? Another mainstream artist I've come to the defense of on numerous occasions is Kane Brown, and I will continue to remind people how great the back half of his new album is. But unfortunately, that album also has a front half, and that front half happens to be home to the song Grand. Had me hella way down, had me in the corner, had me beat, but I'm okay now. Grand is just a weird synth trap hip hop thing with Kane rapping about his come up and how he always believed he would be this big star and how the fame hasn't changed him because he anticipated it. He knew he was going to be this big. The only ones I keep around me are my fam. No coincidence. It's always been the plan. and I always keep it trilly with the fans. What is that even supposed to... Trilly? Bro saying trilly? What does that even mean? Grand is literally what every local rapper invited to perform at a high school assembly about accomplishing your goals raps. You know, those guys that pull up in a Volkswagen Jetta from 2009, dressed like a cereal commercial in 2001, pulling up to a local high school to perform a clean rap song about getting your homework done and submitting it on time so that one day you can be like him. That's what Grand by Kane Brown is to me. We're good? Yep. All right. Cool. Walker Hayes, man, I keep forgetting his country stuff album came out this year. Probably because anything good on that album, and there are some great cuts, is overshadowed in my mind by the monstrosities he dropped over the course of 2022. Whether you're talking about Y'all Life, That Dog Will Hunt, or High Heels, which is easily the worst of the three, but rather than focusing on one, I need to voice my disapproval for all of them. At this point, I respect Walker's hustle. He goes to embarrassing lengths to remain relevant, and it's working. I mean, he's still one of the buzziest figures in country music. But gosh, his stuff this year was painful. He's such a confusing guy, though, because while he's dropping all of these steaming turds, he just posted a video on Instagram of an unreleased song that sounds beautiful and personal and vulnerable, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? What is this? What is this? This Miller Lite of mine. I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even know this song existed until a few weeks ago. This Miller Lite of mine. While collecting nominees for my awards show and doing the worst song category, I kept seeing this song called This Miller Lite of Mine. And I was like, right, I feel like with this many people suggesting it as the worst song of the year, I should have heard about this. But I also don't know if I want to. So I checked it out, and yeah, I don't got a whole lot to say. It's just impressively corny. The fact someone would choose to release this under their own name is admirable. I wouldn't even release this anonymously for fear of someone hacking my account, finding who I am, and then leaking my identity. That's the lengths I still wouldn't go to drop something this corny. And yeah, with that, I think I can start wrapping up this video, honestly. There's obviously more trash I didn't quite get to. Stuff like Girls, Trucks, and Beer by Dylan Marlowe. What was that one song? Mossy Oak? Is that a country song? I don't even know what that was. Mossy Oak. Mossy Oak. It feels weird wrapping up a worst list so quickly, but that was all that really stuck out to me this year. Either 2022 was that good, or my music taste is that good. You know what they say, good music finds good people. You know what they say, Apple Music users just consistently find better music because it's a better streaming platform. You didn't hear it from me, that's just what they say. More lists coming soon. Glad we got this one out of the way. Glad it was so short. 2022, good job. 2023, let's just hope it doesn't bring along another Jason Aldean album.